What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. Dude, that didn't work. I think we just flipped over now. We're a little bit behind on this one today. It's gonna be one of those days, dude. Went black screened on me.
Oh, no.
Oh, holy shit balls, man. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me over on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28. That is Scott Savage. You can find him at Savage. Scott, what is happening today? Dude, we're off to a heck of a start, I'm going to say.
A little bit of a rocky start. Some midweek issues, but
oh, man. Dude, I woke up and I was tired this morning. I'm still feeling that kind of whatever. So let's get into the show so we can get kind of things moving. Because Take-Two hits massive numbers with NBA 2K21 and GTA Online. Apple versus Epic continues. And we have the latest on Game Pass releases for this month coming up. Dude, there's a lot going on in the world of Game Pass as usual.
Oh, yes, that is always the case.
Yeah, for sure. Don't forget, you can always join us live over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG every Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. But if you can't join us live, it's no big deal. Hit us up later InsideTheGame.ca, YouTube, podcast services, as well as TV streaming networks around the world. Dude, I'm like always this close to running out of my breath. Like, you know, right at the end. That's a whole lot of words going in today. Whew. All right, let's get going, man. We got a lot to get going here. Let's do it. Let's see what we got going on today. Because we got SnowRunner, The Wild at Heart, Knockout City, more coming to Xbox Game Pass. On May 20th, tomorrow it all starts. 4 games will arrive for Game Pass members. These are EA Play games. Peggle 2, Plants vs. Zombies, Battle for Neighborhood. Scott, that one's for you, buddy.
Oh, yes, I had some good times on that one.
Absolutely. That one's coming to the cloud. ID at Xbox games. Secret Neighbor coming to PC, and The Wild at Heart comes to console and PC. Fishing game, The Catch, Carp, and Corpse Fishing releases for cloud, console, and PC on May 21st. It features over 35 species of fish and even boss fish, which we assume are harder to reel in. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. Also coming up on May 21st is EA's Knockout City will release. And dude, I'm excited for that one. Day one on Game Pass for PC and console.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that one plays out. I'm reading just a little bit about it, and I think it looks like it could be really fun.
Dude, I can't wait. I've heard good things about it, so I'm anxious to get into it. One of our favorites, though, is coming up on May 25th, coming to console and PC. It's a shark RPG we're talking about, Man Eater. Dude, it's even got DLC coming. I am pumped because it is so good. You actually 100% of that one.
Yeah, I completely cleaned that one up. So if there's any DLC on the way, I'm going to have to get ready for that again.
That's awesome. Conan Exiles is coming to cloud and PC as well. We're getting Fusion Frenzy on cloud, Spell Force 3, Soul Harvest on PC, Joy Ride Turbo on cloud, Mech Warrior 5, Mercenaries and console, Slime Rancher on PC. There's a whole bunch more. And of course, there's always something that's leaving. So you're going to lose Assetto Corsa, Broforce, Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5, and Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, Surviving Mars, and Void Bastards will be leaving on May 31st. So make sure you keep your eye out for those. Grab them while you can, or I believe they come at a discount too, Scott. So if you need anything there, buddy, pick it up.
That's right, and we've actually reviewed Void Bastards on the show before. So if you're curious about that, check out InsideTheGame.ca, where we have a full review on that.
Nice. Yeah, definitely go check out Maneater. Damn, that game is cool, man. Freaking love
As
that game.
well as Maneater, we had a lot of good things to say about that one.
Absolutely. Let's get into the Apple and Epic once again. 62% of all Apple Store revenue is generated from game transactions. Fortnite players on iOS generated 13.2% of overall game revenue in the time the game was available on the App Store. This is a bit of a lengthy read. It's not too bad, but let's get into it. Apple's App Store is fueled by gaming, with 62% of all revenue created by purchases on the platform. The figure was given by Apple antitrust expert Lauren Hitt, who testified as part of the ongoing Epic versus Apple trial last week, as reported by Law 360. Hitt also testified that the App Store's average in-game price doubled from $5 to $10 following Fortnite's arrival on the platform in 2018, while the average price for paid apps rose from $9 to approximately $16. Man, really? That's quite the jump, Scott.
Yeah, they must have just had their prices
Well, absolutely
dialed way out of what was normal at the time. It did sweep over a lot of different industries.
Oh, for sure. Furthermore, Hitt highlighted that between March 2018 and July 2020, 10.2% of Fortnite players played on iOS, generating 13.2% of all Fortnite revenue, $745 million out of a total of $5.6 billion, dude.
That is a lot from buying in-game skins.
Isn't that something else? I know I bought a ton of skins, but that's a whole other show. Let's get it. The player count is in line with Epic's own claims, having stated earlier in the trial that about 10% of the game's audience was on iOS. Dude, I know a lot of people played iOS. I played on iOS. I also played it everywhere else. But it's still to say, like, there's a reason why this argument still continues. Epic, being they, lost a huge percentage. That's 10%, 13%, right, of their money revenue, $745 million. But again, if we take a look back, they still violated Apple's rules.
Yes, that's true. We talked about that on the show, and it was pretty cut clear. I mean, if you subscribe to a set of rules, that's what you have to live by. And in this case, they did not.
No, for sure, right? Apple's commissions have remained at 30% or 15% for smaller developers and businesses. Now, I think the 15% is really what Apple's after. They feel that the 30% is way too high. But when you're a juggernaut, then you have the opportunity to kind of back that. But when you're a small, like, indie developer, 15% or 30%, you kind of have to take what you get, don't you think?
Yeah, there's not much negotiating power for anybody that's not Epic.
Well, yeah, that's really about it, isn't it? Yeah, if you're Epic, I think that you're okay. But let's get into 2K, because they hit huge numbers as well. 2K hits $3.37 billion revenue in a record year. Dude, Grand Theft Auto Online delivers its highest recurrent spending yet, joining NBA 2K and Red Dead as many sales drivers. Like, it's just insane. Dude, who doesn't own GTA by this point?
Have you not bought the game more than once by now?
I think I have it 3 times, and it's coming again to next-gen consoles, so I'm probably going to get it and jump back in. That's what I'm looking forward to, is that next-gen experience for Red Dead, because going back on old-gen, dude, it feels so clunky.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of opportunity now with the new hardware to just really accelerate that game. And
absolutely.
At the time, it was quite busy and beautiful.
Oh man, you remember when it first launched? Everybody was in awe. Like you stood in your apartment and the jet went by you, right? Like you're just like, whoa, that was. And then you see everybody's names pop up. It was such a cool trailer. It was so well done because, well, you know, that's how they rock it over there at Rockstar. There's a reason why they call themselves Rockstar, right? Recurrent consumer spending was up 48% year over year and represented 46% of the company's total net bookings, a larger share than ever before. NBA 2K and Grand Theft Auto Online were said to be the main drivers of the spending in the fourth quarter, with additional contributions from Social Point and Playdot's mobile titles, as well as WWE Supercard. Dude, WWE Supercard. Who's playing that thing?
There's a whole world of wrestling fans out there that I just have not bumped shoulders with yet.
No, that's for sure, right? The company's most consistent platformer, the GTA Online franchise, continues to roll with Grand Theft Auto 5 selling in, reaching, are you ready for this? 145 million units, up from the 140 million units last quarter. And so, I mean, who doesn't own this game already? Dude, the thing is unstoppable. Elsewhere. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
Oh no, I'm just thinking of the numbers. Like that is just a huge amount of sales for anything.
Oh, absolutely. Like it's, dude. And then once you drive that, like we were just saying, right? Once you drive that to next gen consoles, it's gonna skyrocket again. Are they? Here's my question to you, Scott. Are we getting what we've seen in the past, where the upgrade to the next gen is free? Or are we having to buy online separately, like they did separating with Red Dead? You can buy the console, you can buy just the game, the base game with the story campaign, or you can buy just the online component. For when it initially launched, it was like $5, right?
I could see them splitting that up. Actually, that would make sense if they were both not free, but you had to purchase them separately, or perhaps the online could be free. Seeing how much revenue is generated through the online, maybe they just want to let everybody have that, but then charge for the updated single player. That might be a little easier for them to tackle, technically wise, but I'm not exactly sure. I have a feeling it'll have a price tag still.
You know what? I think you're right, Scott. I honestly think that's how they're going to do it. Is they are going to charge you for the next gen version of the online component, and I'm sure everybody here at ITG is going to buy it. So that's how that's going to work. Yeah. Elsewhere in the Take-Two catalog, Red Dead Redemption 2 has sold in 37 million copies. Civilization 6 topped at 11 million. PGA Tour 2K21 has reached 2 million, and The Outer Worlds has surpassed 3 million. Dude, Take-Two is doing just fine right now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, they are a giant.
New games from Take-Two on the way. A slate of 21 new games, including 4 immersive core releases, consisting of the next NBA 2K, one more exciting franchise release, 2 original games, one of which is coming from Gearbox. Beyond that, the company has the private division title, Ollie Ollie World, 10 free-to-play mobile games, and 6 remasters or re-releases, including GTA 5 Online, coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X. Dude, they've got a ton of stuff in the works. More and more is on the way. Take-Two is just, honestly, I think they're up there right now, probably with Activision.
Yeah, they seem to be the Johnson and Johnson of video game producing. It's just their reach is so giant.
Absolutely. No, it's good to see. Man, dude, I gotta get back into Red Dead. I jumped in the other day. So here's Red Dead's online problem. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I jumped in the other day. I was supposed to spawn in at my camp, and my camp wasn't even there. It was just gone. I was like, well, I just shut it off. I was like, man, come on. Like, I just wanted to chill out, go do some hunting and relax, right? But it just didn't happen. But if you're looking to relax, maybe you can relax on the PS5 as games are going on sale. Sony has announced that its Days of Play sale will start from May 26th and carry on till June 25th. That's right. They've got some wicked games coming. Obviously, if you're going to jump in, you'll be able to get Spider-Man. That's coming in. They had, for some reason, I didn't put it in here, but they had a bunch of other games too. Like Demon Souls is coming. All the latest Sackboy is going to be there as well. So there's good games coming for your PS5 on sale. Something that doesn't happen very often. But dude, we haven't seen anything new lately either. But just around the corner is Ratchet and Clank, Scott.
Yeah, that's a big one that a lot of people are holding on for.
Yep, us included for sure. We have another co-op shooter RPG. The Ascent gets a release date, Scott. I'm excited for this game, man. This thing looks cool.
When I first saw this, I knew this was going to be some good news for you.
Yeah, absolutely. The Ascent comes from new indie studio Neo Giant, who's pushing visual fidelity, particle effects, destruction, and dense environments with the game. It targets 4K at 60 frames per second on Xbox Series X. Through specs on other Xbox consoles are unknown at this time. Okay, here's the biggest thing. So the release date, July 29th. Look forward to that. I'm pretty pumped, but dude, that's still a ways away yet. But it's going to be launching on PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. gonna run smooth as butter, I would say, on the next gen consoles. But how is an old X gen fare, Scott?
Yeah, are they going to have to step it down quite significantly? Well, maybe the two versions of the games just won't look very similar. Or will it just kind of run at 30 frames, 1080, and
Sure.
you'll have to deal with some chugging, a little bit of frame drop?
Well, so we're not even into a full year with next gen consoles, but I already see the separation starting to hit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Xbox wants you to be able to take your game and take your library and go wherever you want. But I'm already starting to see the consequences of having old gen. Like, we game almost every night with Kyle, our buddy Kyle from the show, and he will chug to get in and caught up with us. But eventually he gets there, but it takes him that much longer to jump in just with online games. We're seeing other issues too, where there's one particular title I know for sure that just doesn't work on old gen, but yeah, if you're on new gen, it works just fine, right? So there's like multiple things that have hiccups and disconnects. So like, how do they solve that, Scott? Because everybody was developing for last gen and it worked.
Yeah, well, everybody wants to push for the new hardware, and that makes sense to get behind, what's gonna be the mainstay for many years now. But is this just growing pains as they jump from old gen to new? Is this perhaps because they're still stringing the last generation of consoles on?
Right.
Because if it's a split effort in that way, it's only a matter of time before they cut out the Xbox One and PS4 level of consoles and just focus on brand new. But of course, that would cut a huge amount of consumers out.
Absolutely. Well, they're going to launch Halo this year. That's my guess. I'm guessing I expect to see Halo launch this year. Halo Infinite is going to be everywhere, and everybody wants a piece of that thing. Whether you're on old gen, new gen, PC, doesn't really matter. Everybody's going to want to get in on this. 343 has their hands full now because they're creating for multiple platforms. Before, and we'll say PS3 to PS4, you saw the hiccup there as well, right? Where some just focus on next gen consoles, and maybe that will save you. Instead, you try to get a piece of everywhere. If you want to go back to the fact, even go with Cyberpunk, trying to be a bit of everywhere just doesn't work. It's still not on the PlayStation Store, right? Now, there are other hiccups when it comes to that game, but that's the problem we have when we have this cross-gen stuff, right? If you instead just focus on one console, that's why you see first-party titles or first-party studios just nail it so good, because they are working on one console and they're not focused on, well, I got to be on the PS4, PS5, then I got to be on the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X and S. I got to be on Stadia. I got to be on PC. Got to be on the Switch, right? When you're trying to build a game for like 7 different platforms or even 5 platforms, dude, that's a crunch. So how do you... Go ahead.
Yeah, a bunch of different teams all at play at the same time, and then there's going to be bugs that come up, and just that split effort is running into some issue for sure.
No, absolutely, right? So how do you keep it so that you feel like you're on the next gen experience when you are, say, on the Xbox Series X or PS5, but yet if you have the old gen, you got to make sure that the people over there are happy at the same time. Like, there's a lot going in with these next gen and cross gen experiences that are just making things a little bit more complicated when it comes to the development process. And I'd love to get somebody on the show here to talk about what that process is like and how hard is it, right? Because right now I'm playing The Last Oasis. You saw my clip last night with that giant crab, just about crushed me. It was an experience for sure. But that game plays on Xbox One. It's in game preview right now, and I'm playing it on the Series X. But I know people who are playing on Xbox One are actually having some problems playing the game. But yeah, if you're on the Series X, dude, I haven't had a hiccup at all. I did get booted out, but it's in game preview, so you do expect some issues. But I know last gen versus next gen are just having a bit of a hiccup just with that game alone.
Yeah, I haven't experienced any problems myself, but that's on my Series X. Everything runs smoothly so far. Yeah.
I know I've watched my son play on the Xbox One X, and dude, he's like way slower than mine on the Series X, and I'm like, dude, can you catch up a little bit here? And he's trying, and it's just not happening, right? But Scott, let's move on. Dude, we're already 20 minutes into the show. Like, it's just so fast. We were just talking about Last Oasis. Scott, why don't you take it? Because the worm is here, buddy. What game releases and announcements are coming out today?
Well, as you said, there is now a worm in the Last Oasis.
Yes!
This is a new event. Worm sighting, as it's called. In a giant stretch of desert deep in the wasteland, there is roaming sandworms.
So cool.
They are called the Long Ones, which makes sense.
Yep.
And they have
Crew,
taken that land as their territory.
Absolutely. I need that shirt. I need my shirt. I reached out. I'm supposed to get a shirt. We're supposed to get shirts. Come on, Donkey Crew. I'm looking for the shirt because that thing was cool. We talked to Lucas about this and a bunch about the game itself. Dude, I'm playing this like almost every day. And I was
you're on this one now. This is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. What else we got?
Moving past, we have some Warframe news. Gara Prime to premiere in Prime Access. That is a fan favorite Wukong Prime to be vaulted, and best-selling Octavia Prime access to end next week. Okay, so there's a bit of a change-up going on in the in-game marketplace, rather.
Yep.
And we have a lot of stuff here, so I'm trying to graze through it here.
For sure.
Insurgency Sandstorm's latest update adds new game mode, map, weapons, cosmetic, and more. Okay, the indie smash hit first-person shooter Insurgency Sandstorm has celebrated another big update with Operation Exodus. This free content drop, that's important to note, introduces new survival co-op mode, I like that, new map, 2 new weapons, and much more.
Very cool.
That's cool. Co-op is all the rage right now. That's what I'm keeping my eyes open for specifically, and it's good that that's still a consideration to a lot of game devs. We have Divinity Original Sin 2, the definitive edition, is available on the iOS operating system now.
I'm going to check that out. Dude, have you played that game at all?
No, I haven't. I haven't actually seen it either.
So it's been on PC, and now they brought it over to iOS. Like, I'm kind of curious to see. I saw, if you watch the trailer, they're actually using a PS5 controller to play the game because they got a link to their iPad. So I'm kind of curious to see how well it runs on my iPad because I wouldn't mind checking that out.
Yeah, well, I hear that iPad has a great screen, so you shouldn't lose too much in the translation either.
No, for sure.
Video games that have released today. Today's releases. We have Aerial Knights Never Yield. That's coming to the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC.
See what I mean?
I have to try and
it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Shorten that down.
just look for it on all platforms.
We have to give them initials.
Yeah.
The Elite Dangerous Odyssey update has debuted on PC. That's one that I'm going to have to commit to checking that one out myself, actually. I'm a long-time Elite Dangerous player, and Odyssey is really interesting. Taking you out of the ship, putting you in your own space boots, as it were, space legs, and adding a huge amount of content to the game. So I'm going to have to check that one out.
Cool.
We also have Outbreak Endless Nightmares coming to the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and the PC. Crossroads Inn, that's coming to the Series X console. Sunless Skies Sovereign Edition coming to the PS4 and the Xbox One.
There we go, dude. That's our lineup today. That was a quick and fast show, like it always is. So let's wrap it up. Everybody, thank you for joining us. This has been ITG Daily for May 19th. Don't forget, you can always check us out live every day, Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/theofficialitg. If you can't join us live, it's no big deal. Hit us up later, InsideTheGame.ca, YouTube, podcast services, and of course, TV streaming networks around the world. I'm Drew, that's Scott. We'll see you back again tomorrow, Inside the Game.